They told you that getting older means slowing down, losing your spark, and saying goodbye to feeling like a man. Well, I'm here to tell you they were wrong. Dead wrong. My name is Dr. Claire Weston, and for more than 20 years I've worked in men's health, helping guys in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s get back the vitality, the circulation, and the connection they thought was gone for good. I've sat across from thousands of men in my office, from Texas to New England, and what I've learned might just surprise you. Because while most folks out there believe that pills or hormone therapy are the only real answers, the truth is that 4 simple fruits, the kind you can pick up at any grocery store in America, can be the key to reigniting your energy and your intimacy in a way that's completely natural. They taste great, they strengthen your blood flow, they boost your desire, and they help you reconnect with a part of yourself you thought was lost forever. And yes, they work even if you're over 70. I'll tell you exactly what these 4 fruits are, how much to eat, when to eat them, and what to watch out for if you're on medication. Stick with me, fellas, because this could genuinely change how you live the rest of your life. Before I dig in, let me say one thing. About 78% of men over 60 deal with some kind of circulation issue below the belt. That's not a made-up number. That's backed by cardiovascular research going back decades. And here's the kicker most doctors won't tell you. Poor circulation isn't just about what happens in the bedroom. It's about cold hands and feet. It's about that fog in your head in the afternoon. It's about getting winded walking up the stairs. And yes, it's about what happens when you're close with your wife or partner. The blood has to flow. If it doesn't, nothing else works right. Not your heart, not your brain, not your energy, and not your intimacy. So when you fix the circulation, everything else starts to come back online. That's what these 4 fruits do. Now let's get to it. The first fruit is probably already in your refrigerator. Red grapes. Yeah, the same red grapes you might grab as a snack or toss into a salad. For years, early in my career, I thought medications were the only way to improve circulation in older men. But the longer I practiced, the more I paid attention to my patients who were aging well, the ones who still had a spring in their step at 75, and I started noticing something. A lot of them kept red grapes around. So I dug into the research, and what I found changed the way I practiced medicine. Red grapes contain one of the most powerful circulation compounds out there. It's called resveratrol. This antioxidant goes deep into your blood vessels and helps them relax and expand, which means more oxygen-rich blood gets to your muscles, your heart, your brain, and yes, down below where it counts most for a man. What makes red grapes stand out is that they reach exactly where aging hits first, which is the lower half of your body. As you get older, it's common to feel cold in your feet, to notice a slower response during intimacy, or to feel tired earlier than you used to. That's circulation talking to you, and red grapes answer that call. For you guys specifically, daily intake of red grapes has shown some real promise when it comes to the strength and duration of erections. Resveratrol boosts nitric oxide production, and nitric oxide is the master switch for blood flow into the penis. Unlike synthetic pills, red grapes do this gently, naturally, and without side effects. Here's what I tell my patients. Aim for about 1 cup of red grapes a day, seeds and all, if you can handle them, because the seeds actually have a lot of the good stuff. You can eat them fresh, frozen, or have a small glass of unsweetened red grape juice. Now a quick word of caution. If you're on blood thinners like warfarin, or if you take blood pressure medication, check with your doctor before you load up on red grapes, because they can interact. This isn't me trying to scare you. This is me being straight with you the way I'd be straight with my own father. I've seen couples in their 60s and 70s come back to my office a few months after adding red grapes to their routine, and they're holding hands again. And every time I smile. Because it's not a miracle, it's science. It's a good choice. And we're just getting started, because the next fruit isn't just a circulation helper. It's a silent guardian of your kidneys and your whole intimate well-being. Number 2, cranberries. Now, if I'm honest with you, for years I underestimated the cranberry. I used to think of it as just that tart little thing next to the turkey at Thanksgiving. Forgettable, sour, a side dish you put up with. But over time, I started seeing the cranberry with different eyes. I started listening to my older patients, the ones who still felt strong, still felt alive, still felt connected to their wives, and this fruit kept showing up in their stories. So I did the research, and what I found completely flipped my perspective. Cranberries are actually one of the most powerful protectors of your kidneys and urinary tract. And here's why that matters more than you think, gentlemen. Those two areas quietly affect your ability to feel pleasure, to maintain energy, and to keep your intimacy alive in your later years. When kidney function slows down, toxins build up, blood flow gets sluggish, and inflammation creeps in where you don't want it. Let's be real about that. Less flow means less desire, reduced sensitivity, and for you fellas, a direct hit to the strength and duration of erections. But cranberries step in like the natural defenders they are. They're loaded with compounds that reduce inflammation, clean out the urinary tract, and preserve the health of blood vessels, especially in the pelvic area. And that's not just about avoiding that awful burning sensation or the constant trips to the bathroom at night. It's about keeping blood flowing freely exactly where you need it most. For men, this translates into firmer, more reliable erections because healthy kidneys support healthy blood pressure and optimal nitric oxide levels. Those are two pillars of sexual performance, and most guys have no idea how connected these systems are. I've had patients tell me they were quietly suffering with recurring urinary infections, with a fading sense of desire, or just a feeling that something inside them wasn't working right anymore. And they were amazed, genuinely amazed, that something as simple as adding cranberries could bring relief. When you take pain and pressure out of the equation, connection becomes natural again. And that connection, that's what gives life its meaning after 60. Here's how to make it practical. Grab a handful of dried cranberries, about a quarter cup a day, and toss them in your oatmeal on a salad, or just eat them by themselves. If you want juice, make sure it's 100% cranberry juice, not the sugary cocktail stuff that's mostly sugar water. 1 glass in the morning, maybe 4 to 8 ounces, does the job. Now, a real talk warning. If you're on warfarin or any blood thinner, cranberries can increase the effect of that medication. Talk to your doctor first. Don't just load up because you heard it on a YouTube video, not even this one. Get the okay, then move forward smart. But if you're cleared, cranberries deserve a regular place in your routine, not just for your kidneys, but for your circulation, your intimacy, and your peace of mind. Now, a lot of you have been asking me a question that comes up in my email almost every single week. Do these fruits help with brain circulation too? The answer is absolutely yes. And this is where I want to spend a minute, because it's too important to skip. The same blood vessels that feed your lower body feed your brain. Same highway, different exits. So when you improve circulation with these fruits, you're not just helping what's going on below the belt. You're sharpening your thinking, protecting your memory, and reducing your risk of stroke. The antioxidants in red grapes and cranberries cross the blood-brain barrier. They fight oxidative stress in your neurons. A lot of the guys I work with notice after a few weeks that their afternoon fog starts to lift. They're remembering names faster. They're more present in conversations with their grandkids. That's not a coincidence. That's blood flow doing its job from head to toe. So when you're eating these fruits, know you're feeding two things at once, your brain and your vitality as a man. 1 basket, 2 wins. Now let's talk about the third one. And this one has a special place in my heart. Papaya, the energy awakener. There's just something about papaya. Maybe it's that golden orange color, or the way it practically melts in your mouth like a sweet memory from a beach vacation. But beyond the taste, papaya hides a strength that a lot of men over 60 have no clue about. Papaya is one of the most powerful fruits I know of for reigniting male vitality and restoring blood flow throughout the whole body. I remember a patient of mine, a retired construction foreman from up in the Denver area in his late 60s, who came to me frustrated. He was sleeping badly, had no energy, and intimacy with his wife had become a distant memory. He ate clean, he walked his dog every morning, and still he felt wiped out by 2 in the afternoon. That's when we introduced papaya into his daily routine. Just a cup in the morning with a bit of Greek yogurt and a sprinkle of lime juice. Within a few weeks, he came back to my office with a grin on his face and a little bit of color in his cheeks. Something had shifted. Papaya is rich in vitamins A and C, plus powerful enzymes like papain that help with digestion and reduce inflammation. But what really sets papaya apart is its impact on testosterone production and circulation, especially in older men. It helps your body regulate hormones naturally while improving the elasticity of your blood vessels and the transport of oxygen. That kind of internal support translates into stronger, longer-lasting erections and renewed physical energy. And it doesn't stop there. Papaya also supports the adrenal glands, which are your body's natural stress regulators. That means you can experience closeness without tension or fatigue getting in the way. What I love most about papaya is that it's so accessible. You can find it at almost any grocery store in America now, from your local Kroger to the Whole Foods to the Hispanic markets that often have the ripest ones. It's not a supplement, not a pill. It's a fruit you can scoop with a spoon and feel working from the inside. How much do you need? Half a cup to a full cup of ripe papaya in the morning does wonders. The fruit should give slightly when you press it, and the flesh inside should be a deep orange, almost salmon color. If it's still hard and pale, leave it on the counter for a couple of days. Rub a little lime juice on it to bring out the flavor, or mix it into a smoothie with a banana and some plain yogurt. One more heads up. If you take blood thinners, papaya also thins the blood a little. Not a deal breaker, but worth mentioning to your doctor. If you're looking for a spark, not just in your body, but in your relationship, papaya is a quiet ally. It doesn't promise fireworks, but it often delivers something more lasting. Vitality, warmth, and the desire to find that connection again. And just when you think fruit can't do anything more, we get to the one that brings it all home. Cherries, the intimacy amplifier. There's something deeply comforting about a bowl of fresh cherries. Maybe it's that velvety, deep red color, or maybe it's the way they make you slow down when you eat them. You don't wolf cherries down. You sit with them. You enjoy them one by one. And as it turns out, what they do inside your body is even more powerful than their taste. Years back, I worked with a couple in their 60s who'd been married over 40 years. They still loved each other deeply, but something had shifted. The husband told me he felt slow, frustrated, and in silence he missed the passion that had once come naturally. His wife, sweet and patient, missed the intimacy of the past, but she didn't want to put pressure on him. Together they were open to trying something natural. I suggested cherries. Yes, cherries, based on the research I'd done on their impact on inflammation, blood flow, and sexual response. They didn't expect much, but they were open to the possibility. 2 months later, they came back to my office more affectionate, full of energy, laughing like newlyweds. And I knew exactly why. Cherries contain powerful antioxidants called anthocyanins, which have been shown to reduce inflammation in the arteries, increase nitric oxide production, and improve vascular health throughout the entire body. That means blood flows more freely, not just to the heart or the brain, but also to the key areas for arousal, sensitivity, and response. For older men, that translates into better blood flow down below, firmer and longer-lasting erections, without having to reach for synthetic pills. But cherries don't just work on the body, they calm the mind too. Cherries are one of the few natural sources of melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall into deeper, more restorative sleep. And when you sleep better, your hormone balance improves, your stress drops, and your emotional openness grows. That's not just biological, that's the quiet ingredient of lasting intimacy. One of the most beautiful things about cherries is how gentle they are. No shocks, no sudden spikes, just slow, steady nutrition. They soften the blood vessels, support hormonal rhythms, and help your body and mind find their harmony. In a world full of pills and pressure, that kind of healing kindness is a rare gift. How much? Aim for about 10 to 15 cherries a day, or a small handful. Fresh is best in summer, but frozen dark cherries work year-round and actually preserve the antioxidants beautifully. Tart cherry juice, the kind without added sugar, is another option. About 8 ounces in the evening can actually help you sleep better. Watch out for cherry pits though, especially if you're eating them quickly while watching a game. Doctors in my circle see cracked teeth from cherry pits every summer. Just a friendly reminder. And once again, if you're on medication, tart cherries can interact with blood pressure pills, so loop your doctor in before you make them a daily habit. Now that you've discovered these 4 fruits and what they can do, you might be wondering, okay doc, how do I actually start? How do I bring all of this into my life without turning it into another complicated routine? Because let me guess, you've already got enough pills to take, enough appointments to keep, and enough daily tasks to juggle. I hear you, so let's keep this simple. Pick one fruit to start, just one, the one that appeals to you the most. Maybe it's grabbing a bunch of red grapes next time you're at the supermarket. Maybe it's picking up a bag of frozen cherries or dried cranberries. Maybe it's that bright papaya in the produce aisle you've been walking past for years. There's no wrong place to start, and there's no pressure to do it all at once. What matters is consistency, a steady daily signal to your body that you're choosing life, choosing flow, choosing connection. Over the next few weeks, you might start noticing little changes. Warmer hands and feet in the morning, a clearer head during the afternoon slump, deeper sleep, longer dreams, even a quiet spark that returns in moments of intimacy. Those are the signs. Those are the whispers of vitality saying, I'm still here, and there's more for you. I've learned this over decades working with older men all across this country, from the coast of Maine to the hills of Tennessee to the retirement communities of Arizona. It is never too late. I've watched men in their 70s rediscover closeness with their wives after years of silence between them. I've watched widowers in their 80s regain the confidence to start dating again. Not because they stopped the clock, but because they nourished the life that was still flowing inside them. Here's your action plan, plain and simple. Week 1, pick your first fruit and eat the recommended amount daily. Week 2, add a second one. Week 3, add a third. By week 4, you're eating all 4, spread throughout the day. Red grapes and cranberries earlier in the day for sustained circulation. Papaya in the morning for energy and hormonal support. Cherries in the evening for sleep and recovery. And one more thing, because I promised I'd be straight with you. If you're on blood thinners, blood pressure medication, diabetes medication, or anything that affects clotting or hormones, please talk to your doctor before you add large quantities of any of these fruits. A small handful here and there is fine for almost everyone. Loading up every day is where interactions can happen. I'd rather you be safe and slow than sorry and fast. That's the honest truth. So today I invite all of you to take a look in your refrigerator, your fruit basket, or your next grocery list and see it with different eyes. See fruit not just as food, but as a tool, a healing gift, a step toward yourself. Let this be the day you start, not because somebody told you to, but because you deserve to feel good again, stronger, closer, more alive than you thought was possible. You've learned what to do, and you've seen what can happen. Now, the next step is yours. And I'll be right here rooting for you every step of the way. Let me close with this. Sometimes in life, we quietly start accepting less. Less energy, less contact, less connection. Not because we want to, but because it feels like that's just what happens with age. But I want to tell you, man to man, person to person, that idea is just plain wrong. You're not done, you're not too old, and your body hasn't stopped believing in you. What we talked about today might seem simple, just 4 fruits. But what they represent is something much bigger. They're a daily invitation to remind your body what it's still capable of, to help you recover not just circulation, but confidence, not just intimacy, but the feeling of being fully alive. Think about everything your body has been through with you. Decades of work, sleepless nights raising a family, the stress of earning a living, the laughter, the losses, the wins. Your heart kept beating every single second. Your blood kept flowing to keep you standing, moving, and present day after day. And now that you finally have the time to enjoy what really matters, connection, closeness, love, you deserve to feel supported, not limited. Red grapes, cranberries, papaya, and cherries. They're not a miracle cure, but they're a quiet revolution. They don't work by force. They work by nourishment, not with noise, but with wisdom. They reach places where pills often can't. Inside small vessels, inside hormonal pathways, inside the emotional memory of what it means to desire and to be desired. What I hope you take away from this isn't just a shopping list. I hope you take with you the conviction that it's not too late. Not too late to feel better, to hold your wife's hand and feel warmth, to wake up rested and hopeful, to look at your partner or even at yourself in the mirror with that spark you thought had faded. But really, it never left you. The truth is, age doesn't take everything from us. It gives us something too. It gives us the chance to love more deeply, to appreciate more fully, to understand what really matters. And when your body is nourished and your blood flows freely, your heart opens up to all of it. So if all you do tomorrow is eat a bowl of cherries or put a small bunch of grapes in your bag before a walk, know this. You're making a choice to live with intention. A choice to take care of your body, not because it's broken, but because it still has so much to give. This isn't the end of the road. It's the beginning of a new path, a path of rediscovered energy, restored closeness, and maybe even a rediscovery of who you really are underneath all the layers of time you've spent taking care of everybody else. Now it's your turn to take care of yourself, because you deserve to feel good again. You deserve joy. You deserve connection. And the best part is, this journey doesn't start with a prescription. It starts with a fruit and the decision to believe that your best days might still be ahead of you. Now I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to share something you learned today that you plan to put into practice. Drop a comment below. Tell me which fruit you're starting with. Let's support each other on this path. If this video spoke to you, give it a thumbs up, share it with a buddy who needs to hear it, and hit that subscribe button so we can keep walking this road together. Thanks for being here, and here's to living life on your own terms. See you in the next one.